Okay, we're live at Sundance Hills Equestrian. Okay. Don't worry, you're not in the shot.
No, I don't want to be in any shot. Just get Amy out there.
But basically, you know what they say is you get the horse working long and low so that his back leg can track up into his front and that his back can round and then he can lift up the rider.
That's exactly what that website was talking about, the one I was reading.
And if you're not doing it, you know, then you're not doing anything substantial. You know? This is a nice camera.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. But you know, I mean, that took me forever to finally understand what they meant. For one thing, that took forever. And then two, it took forever for me to understand how important it was. You know, I just thought, I was like, oh, these guys are doing dressage, you know, who cares and whatever. But, you know, they'd say do that for whatever the hell you're doing. You're jumping, you're doing Western. He's like, you want to put weight on their back? Then this is what you have to do, you know. There you go. There, look at that. That was beautiful. So when she goes around, and I want you to watch, maybe I'll do it in the trot and we'll see. Yeah. There, that's good. Just keep her, make sure she's still active though.
Yeah.
Because she looks a little slow. There you go.
What do you want me to watch for, Sarah?
Probably when we go in the trot, but basically, if you put your hand on the front of her, like kind of like block her shoulders and her head, and when she stretches her neck down, look at her back legs, how they move, and then when her head comes up, look at how her back legs move.
Okay.
They look a lot different. Like, so see our back legs, they're almost tracking all the way up. Not really. Now watch when she goes down, which she will whenever she does, you know. Now watch how all of a sudden they reached farther. And especially in the trot, if you see one, you have to watch the videos. It's really beautiful when they have a horse who's all the way down and they're trotting and stuff. The hocks almost make like a perfect circle. It looks like a bicycle pedal. You know, like somebody on the machine, like going just perfect circle. But you know, if she did this, you know, 5 days a week or whatever, and then she can trot in the stretch, and then she can walk in the stretch, and all you have to do over time is make her strong enough so that when you bring up the pole, they can still maintain the same rhythm and the same, you know, you don't lose their back.
So is the whole concept of it really the health of the horse's back?
Yeah, just making them strong enough so somebody can get up there and ride.
Do they ride? Is their balance better then?
Oh my God, yeah. He talks about it. He's like, once you learn to ride this way and you stop fighting and blah, 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 and all this other stuff, he's like, you develop balance. Because there's a lot of people who submit videos and their balance, you know, their position's not amazing. He's like, you know, do you mind if you might get in the shot or anything? Are you all like concerned? Okay. See, look, that's a little better right there. And I mean, I had to learn that over time. I couldn't see stuff. It's you know, you have to train your eye and all that stuff. But what were you asking? You're saying
about the balance. Balance.
As you go on, because now you're making your horse balance so they can come up and support you and they can start to float over the ground.
You'd be better.
That looks really good, Amy. Yeah. Right there. That's a perfect walk.
See how she pulls down though?
Like that?
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's much. If she did like a snatch and she,
true.
because, and I only say that because if she did, I would be more concerned if she snatched and came right back up.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, oh, stop. Instead, she's kind of like pulling you to the ground, which that's what we want. And I think it's, you know, you got to develop your hands too, but to let the reins slide out, you know, because I mean, I'm used to getting on there and just holding on to the reins and, you know, never sliding. But anyways, yeah, look at that. And look how long her neck looks. And look how, when she starts to move like that, her back legs start to, like her hocks start to wink a little bit more.
Can I try a tiny leg yoke?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, I say this is pretty good. So why don't you come off, when you come around again, come from the,
As I'm doing it, okay?
as you're doing it, right?
That wasn't very good, so I'll do
When you come around next time, go like where the barrel is
it. Okay.
and start from the barrel and come to this side. Give it a shot. And just try and keep her in the stretch as much as you can. And if she can do that today and stuff, then that's great. Then you can start adding that to your workout. So we're just trying that today. So if she, there we go. If she's about to do a leg yield when she comes to the barrel, and if she does it and she throws up her head and she starts to lose the rhythm, then it's pointless. But she can try it a few times to try it again. Maybe she'll get it again and again. But you know, if she did this for like 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and nothing's happening, then you know, could just mean she's just not strong enough to do that and do a leg yield. Here you go. There you go. Just keep her a little active. There. That wasn't that bad, actually.
Yeah.
She came up and down a little more, but, you know, she kept going.
I'll do another one and then I'll switch directions again.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even have the time. Let me just...
What?
I'm just like... Oh, okay. So it's 12:20. So how long have we been doing this? Oh, let's see. 6 minutes. Okay. So yeah, go ahead. You could do another one, and then you can change direction.
So is another part of the concept that the horse is reaching for the bit?
Yes. Because just like people, if you touch your toes right now, what's going to happen to your back? It's going to round up. And also, what I just amazingly learned recently, if you do like a sit-up, what happens immediately to like your hips and your butt? That's really beautiful, Amy. This is like picturesque. That was a little quick right there, but you know, when you start, there we go. That's good.
Switch directions. Mish, we're not stopping. Smile for the camera.
And she was able to maintain that, you know, in the stretch. She lost the rhythm a little bit, but she was able to get her back. If she did that whole thing and she was like this and her back legs were choppy.
She didn't have her head way up to start.
Yeah, she went down and then she came up a little bit and then she ended down. So that's very, I would say that's pretty good. And it's totally different, you know. I mean, like, I only talked to Amy about this, and
I'll do it after
yeah. I've only talked with Amy about. I mean, I started doing it with Grande and stuff, and I explained to Miss Vicky a little bit, like, you know, because it's her horse. So I was like, hey, can I do this with him? You know, it's like asking, you know, can I do Western? You know, you got not my horse, so I wanted to ask if that's okay. And she said that was fine and stuff. But I mean, the only person I've done this with is Amy. Nobody else I've really talked to about it, or...
Wasn't Sloan riding Keisha with one of those things?
That's beautiful. I don't know. I mean, everybody around here just rides with a, what's that called? What is that called? A frickin',
This is harder.
yeah. What's
the
that
name of
called? A
the
tie down. There we go.
You had on.
This is just a sham bone. So the only thing that these people that we're talking about, the only thing they ever use is that or side reins. They prefer a sham bone. And the goal is you don't want to use either of them at all, but, you know, to get the horse started and kind of understand. So what we had on earlier, the only thing it does is it puts pressure on her pole
Right.
for her to drop her head. So it's not tying her back. She could go back as much as she wants to, and she can go out as much as she wants to. So the only place she gets pressure is the pole. So she learns, oh, I don't want to put my head up. Let me just put it down, you know, and that just helps. And you can ride them in it, but if you can get on like Amy is and do this good of work.
I'm gonna let go of that for a few minutes.
Yeah. Let go of what?
I'm gonna trot and then try it again because.
Oh yeah, you were trying to do leg yields. There we go.
Bad, huh?
There we go. And you'll really see it in the trot, because we've been starting to work on her trot, and she's only just now starting to stretch a little bit, but she doesn't for the most part. She kind of sticks her head up, and when she does it, I'll explain like how she looks, you know, and how it's not as
You would think
Nice.
a horse could figure it out themselves.
What?
Do you know what I mean?
Well, imagine
That
it
if
this way.
hurts- That if it hurts their back,
Who says, you know, but, well, for one thing, I think, you know, and I thought about that for a while too. I said, well, why would they want to do, you know,
Right.
how would they tolerate that? I don't think it hurts. Well, for horses who've got like kissing spine and, you know, where their back is like all just bones, I think that hurts. I mean, I certainly don't think you're doing anything great. But also, you know, if they've been trained to go a certain way for so long, you know, like Misha, she just kind of, you know, you got on and she did that nice little, you know, her head broke over at the pole a little bit. That's beautiful. She's never really done that. Wow. That was really nice. Holy smokes. Wow. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and film, so I wish I could talk at the same time.
She gets really.
No, but that was, I mean, like, compared to last week, oh my gosh. So basically what she came around that corner, that's the longest she's ever done that while trotting.
having her head down, you mean?
Yeah, a little bit. And you saw, I mean, you'll have to, when you watch the videos and stuff, your eye will begin to see things differently. There, see, as soon as she put her head down, like, see, now she's kind of hollow, or look at her back legs. See how they don't track up into the front, and now they just did because she went down a little bit. And it's okay that she's up and down. Amy will just keep asking, keep making sure she's going forward, and try to get as much as she can. Because the goal is you don't want to do this, you don't want to do anything that's not really going to help. You know, if she went around with her head stuck in the air for 10 minutes and she was trying to get this, you know, you just stop and come back to the walk. Come back to something that they're doing well. That little trot for like 2 minutes was the best I've seen on her.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when you started out right away, like she was already going into it. I mean, think about last week. Remember last Wednesday? You went around for 5 minutes. She literally did it like 4 times.
Yeah.
That was the most she'd ever done it then. But still, I mean, like week to week. And I mean, like those little shots, like when she went down, she looked beautiful and she
Did
started
she?
to float. Did she feel better?
Yeah.
And I've been talking to Amy too when she's up there. Yeah, I've talked to her too. I'm asking her when she does this, I'm like, how do you feel? Do you feel her come up a little bit? Does it feel more comfortable?
She can feel it.
Yeah. And over time, when they're a lot stronger, you'll be able to feel such a dramatic change. But because she's just starting, so it's not like she can come up all the way and she doesn't have all that muscle development. But it is a change. She can feel the rhythm start to get, you know, consistent, not fast, slow, fast, slow. But this is very beginning stuff. There you go. Next time we go, we'll have to take you so we can
But Amy's
you can
not
watch
doing
them.
anything differently.
What do you mean?
Amy's riding the same as she rode, 6 months ago.
No, look at her hands. Her hands are a lot different. First, she's making sure she's
Well,
going.
they're much wider for some reason.
Yeah, because you keep them wide so you can kind of follow their mouth. So the way, it's kind of strange actually, because like they don't ever explain how they do that with their hands, but you just see it in the videos. They kind of pluck out to the left and right, and they keep their hands really wide to encourage them to go down. You know, because it's not like you can just, there, that was beautiful. It's not like you can just press on their head or something. You know,
Yeah.
the only communication you've got is from your hands to their mouth. So they like, there. Oh, there we go. Damn, I'm like, I didn't get that. But so they keep their hands wide and they pluck left to right for the horse to go down all the way. And then once they're down there, they leave them alone, which is what Amy's doing.
Oh, I gotcha.
That was so, I'm like so happy. I am trying not to jump up and down right now.
Try not to cry.
Not to be like, oh my god, it's so exciting.
That's just part of the training part until it becomes second nature.
It's to
horse.
stretch like your hands and stuff.
Yeah.
They do that just to get them to stretch. They have horses. I mean, like that's like asking for something. So it's like you put your leg on to ask them to trot.
Yeah.
There's never a point when you're not going to not do that, you know. So they'll ask for the stretch, and as they get more developed and they know more, you won't have to ask so much. She is so far in the beginning, it's not funny, but she's made so much progress in such a short amount of time, which I think also is too, because You know, the horse is like, hey, this feels better.
Uh-huh.
But like their farthest one they've got right now is a thoroughbred. He's like, yeah. There. There we go. Just keep her moving a little bit more.
That didn't feel as good. Let me try it on the other side. I know what I did wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I've got you on camera with the other direction very much, with the leg yield.
The other way, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me do one more on this side and then.
There we go. But see how right now, see how when she was hollow, see how her back legs don't even come near where her front legs are? And see how her head's way up and her back legs are trailing out, and you can see behind the saddle, she's dipped a little bit because she hasn't been developed like this, so that will fill out when you see like that dip behind the saddle and stuff. They've done horses who are completely sway backed, who are like 27 years old, and there's like Pistol, they've done horses that are worse than that, and they will bring their backs up flat over a few years.
A couple years?
Takes about 1 year to establish like a top line. So because she doesn't really have a ton like of much of a hole, it'd probably take like a year and she'd be completely flat.
Gina.
Probably a year, and then 2 years for that to really be completely full. And that's with horses who don't have like any damage and who don't have like hunter's bumps and stuff like that, where you see on
Trot and then go the other direction.
yeah. Everything you're doing is good. She's staying over her back, you're stretching her, you're keeping her going. This is very awesome. She doesn't have it, but you see like, so behind the saddle there's the dip because that's her spine. And then you see like in front of their tail, like 6 inches, you see it on the horses that jump, they have that bump over their sacrum. Now, they talk about that a lot on their channel. I thought that was just like normal. And sometimes I'll watch like equine massage, massage therapy and all that stuff. But they talk about how that's actually terrible, and it means they've been going hollow for a really long time, and it means the spine is starting to separate from the top of the hips, and that they have got like no muscle development and stuff like that. But that can be fixed too. I mean, that's what sold me on their stuff, was like, it's not just dressage, it's not for whatever. It's just, you want to get on, you want to put weight on, they can support you, and you'll make them look fantastic and keep them sound and keep them fit. A little harder for her in this direction. Yeah.
She is bending down.
Yeah. So, it's a little harder for her in this direction, and that's fine. We're just going to keep asking. Make sure she's going forward. Ooh, there she went.
Down.
Yeah. But see, she's gone this whole time circle. She's still hollow. Look at her head's up behind the saddle. There's just that dip, her back legs aren't tracking up. There we go. That was good. That was a good call. You come back and just come back to the walk and reestablish that.
Go the other way. Try another leg yield.
It is. What time is it? So we've been going 18 minutes and it's 12:30. It's pretty good.
How many minutes does your video have to be to submit?
Oh, it just has to be 30 or less.
Oh, okay.
I think the worst thing he'll say is maybe she's going too slow. But you know what? I feel like, like if you're watching and riding them, they look fine. And then when you see it on video, they somehow look slower.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she's going pretty good. But then you look on the video and it's like, why does that look kind of slow? But, anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, and the beauty of it is you can build their muscle. You don't have to, she didn't have to come out here and walk, trot, and canter every day. And she didn't in the beginning, and she still does a little bit because, she's her horse and do whatever she wants. But, yeah, you're good. How do I?
What did Amy say? She's really what?
I think she's just being really pushy. So she's just she's like wanting to go to the rail or whatever. But she could, if Amy did nothing but walked and stretched her for like 6 months, she could build a hell of a lot of muscle.
Just walking?
Yeah.
There's a method to my madness.
No, yeah, you're good. Because they're over their back, it's just like if you did sit-ups all the time, maybe you couldn't do them as fast as everybody else. Maybe you couldn't do as many as everybody else. But if you did 2 sit-ups every day, 5 days a week, there'd be a change in 6 months. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. The first time he said that took me forever to understand. I was like, what are you talking about? You have to walk, trot, and canter. They're not getting any work done. And he's like, and I didn't understand that for the longest time. But as long as they're over their back, he's like, especially with horses that are really damaged, he's like, you could walk them for 6 months. He's like, and the ones that are really, really damaged, you won't even ride them. You lunge them, and there's like a whole art to lunging, kind of like what we were doing, but you should see when they lunge, their horses just look so fantastic, and they're all the way down, and they just float over the ground, and you can see their backs are totally just flat and up. But see how when she did that, so the whole canter was hollow, right? She probably wanted to get a little more energy, but if she did that for 10 minutes, what's that going to be doing? Nothing.
Right.
Well, at least when she messes around or is not listening, she's stretching, right? But, so, the whole time she was doing that, she was, hollow or whatever.
My crop just.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good, totally. I mean, I've been happy with what she's been doing.
What?
Is she acting up, or are you
A little
doing
bit. No, she's acting up.
Why?
Because she's just once she gets going, she gets energy.
She's getting all this energy because she's like, wow, I feel so great. I feel so alive. All right. Anyways, she's doing that. So, you could see her head was up, and you saw how her back legs, they were like falling out. Oops. And she looked like this strangled little thing compared to what you saw earlier when she walks and she's all the way out and she just looks super nice.